Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin demonstrates a clear uptrend. The price has consistently broken through resistance levels, and the forecast suggests continued upward momentum. The RSI values, while fluctuating, generally remain above 50, indicating bullish sentiment. Furthermore, the price is currently near the upper Bollinger Band, suggesting a potential for a pullback before continuing the uptrend. Therefore, I propose a strategy focused on capitalizing on this upward trend while incorporating risk management. My investment strategy involves a tiered approach. Firstly, initiate a long position at $95,300, coinciding with the first day of the forecast period. Set a stop loss at $94,200, just below the recent support level to protect against a sudden downturn. The initial target price is $96,800, aligning with the forecast for May 6, 2025. If the price reaches this target, consider a partial profit booking and tightening the stop loss to $95,800. Subsequently, if the price continues to rise, adjust the target price to $98,000. This strategy combines trend following with risk mitigation, aiming for high returns while safeguarding against potential losses. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum exhibits a strong upward trend, breaking through the resistance level of $1,820. The RSI indicator fluctuates between 39.2 and 57.0, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands show periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. Considering these factors, I propose a portfolio strategy combining RSI, Bollinger Bands, and trend analysis. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 40.0, specifically at $1,780, capitalizing on the potential for a rebound in an upward trend. The stop loss will be set at $1,760, just below the support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $1,820, the previous resistance level, aiming for a quick profit. To maximize returns, we'll implement a trailing stop-loss strategy. Once the price reaches $1,820, we will adjust the stop-loss to $1,790. If the price continues to rise, we'll further increase the stop-loss to $1,800. The final target price will be $1,820, based on the forecast and recent price action. This combined approach leverages the RSI for entry signals, the Bollinger Bands to gauge volatility and potential reversals, and the established trend to guide the overall direction, aiming for high returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows a slight upward trend, consolidating between the support price of $2.19 and the resistance price of $2.25. The RSI fluctuates between 46.3 and 60.7, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, suggesting increasing volatility. Considering the RSI approaching overbought levels and the forecast showing a slight downward movement initially, I propose a short-term strategy focusing on range trading within the $2.19 to $2.25 range. My strategy involves entering a long position when the RSI dips below 40 and the price touches the support level of $2.19. The entry price would be $2.19. The stop loss would be set just below the support at $2.17 to protect against a potential breakdown. The target price would be the resistance level of $2.25. If the price reaches $2.25, I would take profit and consider re-entering a long position if the RSI falls back below 40. This strategy aims to capitalize on the short-term price fluctuations within the established range, balancing risk with potential rewards. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB exhibits a slight upward trend with consolidation around the $600 mark. The RSI consistently remains between 46.5 and 60.8, avoiding extreme oversold or overbought conditions, suggesting a balanced market. The Bollinger Bands show periods of contraction and expansion, indicating volatility. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will initiate a long position at $600. Given the support level at $590, a stop-loss order will be placed at $585 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $618, aligning with the previous resistance and a reasonable profit expectation. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the price dips towards the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we can enter a long position at $597. The stop-loss would be set at $585, and the target price at $616. Conversely, if the price approaches the upper Bollinger Band and the RSI exceeds 70, signaling an overbought condition, we'll consider taking profits or exiting the position. This combined approach allows us to capitalize on both trend following and mean reversion opportunities, maximizing potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana shows a generally upward trend with price fluctuations. The support price consistently remains at $143, while the resistance price has been oscillating around $152. The RSI values have been fluctuating between 53.7 and 65.8, indicating periods of neither extreme oversold nor overbought conditions. Considering the Bollinger Bands, the price has recently been approaching the upper band, suggesting a potential for a pullback or consolidation. Therefore, I propose a strategy that combines elements of trend following and mean reversion. My recommended strategy is a long position with an entry price of $149. Given the recent upward trend and the forecast prices hovering around $148 to $151, this entry point offers a favorable risk-reward ratio. The stop-loss should be set at $146, just below the recent low and the support price, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $151, aligning with the resistance level and the forecast prices. If the price reaches $151, we can consider moving the stop-loss to break even. If the price continues to rise, a secondary target price of $152 can be set. This strategy aims to capitalize on the prevailing upward trend while incorporating risk management techniques to protect capital. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a mixed trend with periods of consolidation and upward movement. The RSI fluctuates between 43.0 and 60.8, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions for most of the period. However, the forecast suggests a potential slight downward trend in the short term, with prices ranging from 0.176 to 0.172. Considering the support price of 0.174 and resistance of 0.183, and the Bollinger Bands indicating volatility, I recommend a cautious strategy focusing on short-term opportunities. My strategy will be a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands. I suggest entering a long position at $0.172, coinciding with the forecast price and the lower Bollinger Band. The stop-loss should be set at $0.170, just below the support price of $0.174, to protect against a potential downward break. The target price will be $0.178, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and just below the resistance price of $0.183. This strategy aims to capitalize on potential short-term upward movements while mitigating risk with a tight stop-loss. This is a moderate risk, moderate reward approach suitable for the current market conditions. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano shows a slight upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI consistently remains above 40, indicating that the asset is not significantly oversold. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a period of low volatility. Considering the forecast for the next week, the price is expected to fluctuate around $0.69 to $0.70. I recommend a long position entry at $0.697. The stop-loss should be placed just below the support level at $0.64 to protect against a potential downside reversal. The initial target price will be $0.702, which aligns with the forecast and a minor resistance level. To enhance returns and manage risk, I propose a dynamic trading strategy. Once the price reaches the initial target of $0.702, consider moving the stop loss to break even, around $0.697, to lock in profits. If the price continues to rise, set a second target at $0.704. If the price falls back to $0.691, exit the position to minimize losses. This strategy combines RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels to capitalize on the current upward trend while mitigating potential risks. The final target price is $0.704. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows a slight upward trend with price fluctuations. The support price is consistently around $0.229, while the resistance fluctuates between $0.24 and $0.252. The RSI indicates that TRON is generally within a neutral range, occasionally dipping into oversold territory below 50. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of volatility with price occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderate long position strategy focusing on capitalizing on short-term upward movements while managing risk. My strategy involves entering a long position when the RSI dips below 40, indicating an oversold condition. Specifically, I suggest entering at $0.242. The stop loss should be set just below the support level at $0.23 to limit potential losses. The initial target price should be set at the nearest resistance level of $0.252. If the price reaches this target, we can consider moving the stop loss to break even and setting a second target price at $0.26. This approach combines RSI signals, support and resistance levels, and Bollinger Bands volatility to maximize potential gains while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, SUI shows a clear uptrend with strong momentum. The price has consistently moved above the Bollinger Band's middle line, indicating bullish sentiment. The RSI has been trending upwards, reaching overbought levels multiple times, suggesting continued buying pressure. The support price of $3.33 acts as a floor, while the resistance price of $3.55 has been tested recently. Considering the forecast for the next week, which predicts prices between $3.29 and $3.52, I recommend a long position. We will enter a long position at $3.29, placing a stop-loss order at $3.33 to protect against a potential pullback to the support level. The initial target price will be $3.52, aiming to capitalize on the short-term forecast. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate the RSI indicator. If the RSI falls below 40, we will consider adding another long position at $3.41, setting a stop loss at $3.33 and targeting $3.52. This approach combines the momentum of the Bollinger Bands with the oversold/overbought signals of the RSI, creating a robust and adaptable strategy. The combined strategy will maximize returns while minimizing risk. This is a high-return investment strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chainlink demonstrates an overall upward trend, supported by the consistent breaching of resistance levels and the forecast maintaining prices around $14.8 to $14.9. The RSI consistently fluctuates but generally remains above 50, suggesting bullish momentum. Considering the Bollinger Bands, the price has frequently touched the upper band, indicating potential overbought conditions. Therefore, I propose a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands to capitalize on short-term pullbacks within the broader uptrend. We will enter a long position when the RSI dips below 30, signaling an oversold condition, and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Specifically, let's initiate a long position at $14.8, coinciding with the forecast price and the lower Bollinger Band. A stop-loss order will be placed at $14, just below the support level, to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be $15.1, the previous resistance level. If the price reaches $15.1, we will move the stop loss to the entry price of $14.8 to secure profits and potentially ride further upward momentum. This strategy aims to capture quick gains from short-term price dips while benefiting from the overall bullish trend, ensuring a risk-reward ratio that favors high returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, Theta network exhibits a mixed trend with periods of both upward and downward movement. The RSI consistently remains below the oversold level of 20, indicating that the asset is not significantly undervalued. However, the recent readings are approaching the overbought level of 80, suggesting potential for a pullback. Considering the support price of $0.71 and resistance price of $0.754, the price is currently near the resistance level. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is fluctuating within a relatively narrow range, with the lower band consistently around $0.606 and the upper band around $0.787. The forecast for the next week suggests a slightly downward trend, with prices fluctuating around $0.71. Therefore, I recommend a cautious trading strategy. We will enter a short position at $0.753, anticipating a potential pullback from the resistance level. The stop loss will be set at $0.76 to protect against a false breakout. The initial target price will be $0.71, aligning with the support level and the recent forecast. If the price reaches $0.71, we will reassess the situation and consider a trailing stop loss to capture further potential downward movement. This strategy combines the RSI indicator to identify potential overbought conditions, the Bollinger Bands to gauge volatility and potential price reversals, and support/resistance levels to define key price targets. The portfolio will be 60% short position, 30% cash, and 10% in other assets to diversify risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Tezos demonstrates a potential for a short-term upward trend. The RSI consistently remains below 51.0, indicating an oversold condition, particularly between April 16 and April 29. The Bollinger Bands show that the price is currently near the lower band, suggesting a potential rebound. Considering the support price of $0.55, I recommend a long position strategy. The entry price will be $0.524. The stop loss will be set at $0.51, just below the lower Bollinger Band, to protect against a potential downward breakout. The initial target price is $0.541, aligning with the previous resistance level and the upper Bollinger Band. To maximize returns and manage risk, I propose a tiered target strategy. After reaching the initial target of $0.541, we will move the stop loss to the entry price of $0.524, effectively locking in profits. The next target price will be $0.55, the support level. If the price reaches $0.55, we will take partial profits and move the stop loss to the break-even point. Finally, the ultimate target price is $0.572, the previous resistance level. This strategy combines RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels to capitalize on the anticipated upward trend while minimizing potential losses. Based on the historical data and forecast, Curve DAO shows a slight upward trend. The price has been fluctuating within a range of $0.589 to $0.68, with a support price consistently at $0.632. The RSI indicates that the asset is not currently in oversold or overbought territory, hovering around the mid-60s. The Bollinger Bands suggest that the price is currently near the upper band, indicating potential for a pullback. Therefore, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy with a focus on capitalizing on potential upward movements while managing risk. We will implement a strategy based on RSI with an oversold level of 20 and an overbought level of 80. Our strategy involves entering a long position when the RSI dips below 60 and the price touches the support level of $0.632. The entry price will be $0.632. We will set a stop-loss order at $0.61, just below the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $0.67, near the resistance level. If the price reaches $0.67, we will move the stop loss to break even to protect profits. If the price continues to rise, we will set a second target price at $0.68. This strategy combines support and resistance levels, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands to provide a balanced approach to managing risk and maximizing potential returns. Based on the historical data and forecast, NEXO shows a clear upward trend. The price has consistently been moving towards the resistance level of $1.21, and the forecast for the next week predicts further increases, reaching $1.28. The RSI values have been generally increasing, indicating strengthening momentum, with a peak nearing 70, suggesting a potential, but not immediate, overbought condition. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, confirming the increasing volatility and upward trend. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. The entry price should be $1.19, coinciding with the first day of the forecast period. A stop-loss order should be placed at $1.11, just below the established support level, to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price should be $1.24, aligning with the forecast price for May 4, 2025. If the price reaches this target, consider moving the stop-loss to break even to protect profits and potentially ride the upward momentum further. A secondary target price of $1.28 can be considered if the initial target is reached and the trend continues to strengthen. This strategy combines technical indicators and forecast data to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Maker shows a generally upward trend, particularly strong from April 24 onwards. The RSI consistently hovers around 50 to 63, indicating neither extreme overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased volatility and potential for price movement. The forecast predicts continued upward momentum, with prices reaching $1,580. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $1,520. The stop-loss will be set at $1,470 to protect against unexpected downturns. The initial target price will be $1,560, based on the forecast and the upper Bollinger Band. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we'll enter a long position at $1,470. The stop-loss will be set at $1,400, just below the support level. If the RSI rises above 70, signaling an overbought condition, we will take profit at $1,560. This combined approach leverages both trend analysis and momentum indicators for enhanced returns. The final portfolio will be a combination of the upward trend strategy and the RSI strategy, maximizing efficiency and minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Sui shows a clear uptrend with strong momentum. The price has consistently moved above the Bollinger Band's middle line, indicating bullish sentiment. The RSI has been trending upwards, reaching overbought levels multiple times, suggesting continued buying pressure. The support price of $3.33 acts as a floor, while the resistance price of $3.55 has been tested recently. Considering the forecast for the next week, which predicts prices between $3.29 and $3.52, I recommend a long position. We will enter a long position at $3.29, placing a stop-loss order at $3.33 to protect against a potential pullback to the support level. The initial target price will be $3.52, aiming to capitalize on the short-term forecast. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate the RSI indicator. If the RSI falls below 40, we will consider adding another long position at $3.41, setting a stop-loss at $3.33 and targeting $3.52. This approach combines the momentum of the Bollinger Bands with the oversold/overbought signals of the RSI, creating a robust and adaptable strategy. The combined strategy will maximize returns while minimizing risk. This is a high-return investment strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, AMP exhibits an overall upward trend, consistently testing and nearing the resistance level of $0.00418. The RSI values, fluctuating between 41.1 and 62.4, suggest periods of both oversold and overbought conditions, but generally trending upwards. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, indicating increasing volatility. Considering these factors, I propose a moderately bullish strategy. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 30, targeting a price of $0.00426 based on the forecast. The entry price will be $0.00411. A stop-loss order will be placed at the support level of $0.00403 to mitigate potential losses. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band, it suggests an oversold condition, reinforcing a buying opportunity. Conversely, if the price approaches the upper band, it indicates an overbought scenario, potentially signaling a profit-taking point. Therefore, the final portfolio will be a combination of RSI and Bollinger Bands. The entry price remains $0.00411. The stop-loss is set at $0.00403. The initial target price is $0.00426, and a secondary target will be set at the next resistance level, which is $0.00438. This combined approach aims to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Berachain shows a slight upward trend with periods of volatility. The RSI consistently remains below 40, indicating a generally oversold condition, while the Bollinger Bands suggest potential price fluctuations. The support price of $3.61 provides a floor, and the resistance of $5.83 marks a ceiling. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands. We will initiate a long position when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI is below 30. Specifically, enter a long position at $3.29 with a stop-loss order placed just below the support level at $3.59. The initial target price will be the resistance level at $5.83. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the forecast data. The forecast suggests a range between $3.29 and $3.41. If the price drops to the lower Bollinger Band during the forecast period, say at $3.3, we enter a long position. The stop-loss remains at $3.59, and the first target is adjusted to $3.7, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band. If the price continues to rise and breaks above $3.7, the target price is then raised to $5.83. This combined strategy leverages both technical indicators and price action to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Axelar shows a generally upward trend, although with some volatility. The RSI indicates that the asset has been moving from oversold to overbought territory, currently hovering around 63.3. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been fluctuating within the bands, with recent movement towards the upper band. Considering the support price of $0.349 and resistance of $0.421, the forecast price of $0.385 on May 6, 2025, suggests a potential for further upside. Therefore, I propose a long position strategy. The entry price should be $0.356, coinciding with the first day of the forecast period. A stop-loss should be placed slightly below the support level at $0.34 to protect against a sudden downturn. The initial target price should be $0.381, aligning with the forecast price on May 4, 2025. If the price reaches this target, consider moving the stop-loss to the entry price of $0.356 to secure profits and potentially ride further upward momentum. A secondary target price can be set at $0.40, but this should be reassessed based on market conditions and the behavior of the RSI and Bollinger Bands as the price approaches this level. This strategy aims to capitalize on the short-term upward trend while managing risk with well-defined stop-loss and target levels. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solayer exhibits a strong upward trend. The RSI consistently remains above 60, with values frequently exceeding 70, indicating bullish momentum. The forecast prices for the next 2 weeks project continued growth, with prices moving from $2.98 to $3.61. Considering the current RSI of 84.3, which is overbought, a short-term pullback is possible, but the overall trend remains positive. We will implement a strategy that capitalizes on this upward trajectory. Our strategy will involve a tiered approach. Initially, we will enter a long position at $3.02, anticipating a continuation of the upward trend. The stop loss will be set at $2.93 to protect against a potential short-term correction. Our first target price will be $3.15, representing a moderate gain. If the price reaches this target, we will move our stop loss to the entry price of $3.02 to secure profits and potentially ride further gains. The second target price is $3.3, and if reached, we will move our stop loss to $3.15. Finally, if the price reaches $3.4, we will take full profits and move our stop loss to $3.3. This strategy combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals to maximize returns while managing risk effectively.